Hi guys, welcome back. This is Abdurrahman Gilal, and in this video I'll be explaining you nested loops or loops within loops. So there are a lot of times that we encounter such kind of situation. In fact, these days, like if you're working on Excel sheet, basically you're working in rows and columns. So when you say rows and columns, you're trying to say that you're working on nestation. So every row has certain number of columns, and every columns have certain number of rows. So that brings up a situation where you have in the programming to use nestation means loops within loops. It's also possible that you are, working to print out something. For example, you wanted to print out the stars, or you wanted to do the mathematical computations, such as you are working on, this matrix calculations and all those things. So you definitely have to use nestation. So nestation is pretty straightforward if you already understand the concepts of, loops, just simple loops. So it's gonna just gonna bring you a logical things that how you set up the loop, inner loop and outer loop. So I'm just going to explain you this multiplication table that each row has, like, let's say a certain number of columns. So every time you come, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you see like 2 into 2 will be 4, and then you 3 into 2 is equals 6. So this is just the multiplication table output. So I have already written the code. I just will be explaining you about that how I've done it. So let's see. The first thing is that we have two loops. One is outer loop and another one inner loop. So the thing that we have to understand here, outer loop runs once, but inner loop runs all, because inner loop is of the body of the loop. So the body would not be basically, going backward to the increment or update part until everything is done from the inside. What I'm saying is that, for example, even if I have one simple print statement without any loop, will be completely printed first, then only this then only this part will go here at update place. Once the update place is done, then only it will go to the comparison or condition part of the loop. So usually, because computer is very fast, so we don't see the difference, but technically this happens this way. So now once we have a loop within loop, so we basically trying to say that outer loop runs once and the inner loop runs all the time. So the complexity will be slightly higher. So here we have, let's say, two different loops. One is outer loop is starting or controlled by the variable in I, and then there's another variable that is j. So we can keep values here as well in order to print, like if you wanted to print like this way, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So why? Because I is 1, so we'll just print once and then we just end it up, and then the 2, and that's very pretty simple and straightforward. So the loops will remain same. We have seen it in our previous video where we just simply made the game. So in here now we're gonna see, like, understanding point of view, this loop, outer loop has iteration until 5, which means that we will go until 5. So in order to just make it synchronize, I've just kept the j is also 5. So both of them are 5, 5. So we will see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is here. We will go 2, 4, 6. Why? Because you see here that's one first time, and j is also. Let me just clear it and I explain it this way. So we have two variables. One is I, which is 1, and then the j. You see j is in a loop, so it will be changing. So right now I is 1, and then the j is 1 also. So what will be printed on the screen? It will be printing 1. And then the backslash T, which means escape sequences, will basically, how to say, give me a second. Yeah, I just wanted to write it correctly. Yep, 1. And then escape sequences will just give a space for certain, characters. And then this loop has nothing else, so it will go back here and we'll do the increment. So I is already 1. Now I will be, oh, sorry, j is equals to 1 already. So j will have increment. So once j has increment, now j become 2. So now j is equals to 2. So 2 is less than 5. Well, that's true. So what to do? Just print I into j. I is still 1, so j is 2. So 1 into 2 is 2. And then tab, so we have this as a tab. That's it. And then goes back here. So j is 2. Now j will have increment, so j becomes 3 now. So once j is 3, so they compare it. 3 is less than or equals to 5. That's true. exactly the same thing happens with the tab and then goes back and j becomes 4, and then 4 is less than or equals to 5. That's true. So 4 is printed, and then 5 will be printed. And then once the j is 6, for example, now j is 6. So 6 is now being compared. This was 4, let's say 5. 6 is less than or equals to 5. Nothing, neither is less or nor it's greater. So basically this loop will be terminated. Once this loop is terminated, what happens that it brings out the iteration finished, but it brings the, the cursor on the next line. So line will be here now. So now here we knew that I is already 1. So let me clean it up. So now we know that j, so I is 1, and now j, because j variable has been done, so let's just forget about this. So now j is 1, so sorry, I is 1, so now I will have increment. So now I equals to 2. Let's say I equals to 2. So 2 is less than or equals to 5. That's true. But what to do? Nothing. Just run another loop. So once you come back here, so you start j again. So now j will be introduced here. So j is starting with 1 again. So the same happens here, but now the computation will be different here because I was 1 previously, now I is 2. So 2 into 1 will be basically 2. And then same thing tab, so j will become j equals to 2. So now the next time 2 into 2 will be 4. Exactly the same thing, 6, because each time we come with a new value of j will be multiplied with 2. So j is like 8 and then 10. That's how. And then same thing, we are done with this inner loop. So it will go onto the new line, will bring the cursor on the new line, and the same thing will happen again now. So you see here, and then I is 1 now, sorry 2, so now I will become 3, because we know that once I have increment it becomes 3. So 3 is less than equals to 5, that's true. So come down here, run the body, j becomes from the 0 or 1 again. So now 3 into 1, that was the point, right? So 3 into 1. So once 3 into 1, which is definitely starting from 3. So previously it was starting from 2, 1, 2, 3, and then space. So 3 into 2 is equals to 6. 3 into, because j will be incrementing and then everything is going like that way. So that's how we develop this program. Let me quickly show you the output. That's what I started previously. So you see here, it is like this way. But what if you wanted to print it out, like you wanted to see only, you know, one number, let's say. I'm just gonna keep I here. So once I keep I here, you see the interesting part. So the printing will be, in a diamond shape. So you have 1 because I is 1. Next time I is 2, so j will multiply with 2 and it goes back. So this can come this way as well, or you may produce it other way around. For instance, that you start I with okay, I make it simpler. I just keep this all exactly the same, and I make this here so that we see like how it goes. And I can also make this way so that I start from 5 and I will be ending at 1, but should be greater than, because 5 is greater than 1 then only. But if we don't control it correctly, it will create problems. So now it will be, going backwards. So let's run it and see how does it appear. So you see, this is first one. That is very much same. And the second one also until 25. But the third one, did you see that? It goes backward. It goes backward. I think it's better if I put the backslash or something so to indicate that what are we running. So this one here and this one here so that we have clear printing things. So you see here, this is the first one, which was very clear. And this is second one that we made the diamond from small to big. And oh, sorry about that, because it goes like this way. We did not control that j has to be also, decreased as per the increment of the I. So it makes some sense. Um, Give me a second. Yep. So you see here, we started I with 5, and then here we should control that how many times it should be going. So it should be going, let's say for the first time, it goes from 1 to 5, and the next time it should go until I. So it's also going to be the backward, but with a different style. So you see here 525 and then 416. So I hope it makes some sense. If you got any question regarding the nestation, please do not hesitate to ask me. Thank you so much.